Hey, how you doing there? Henry Olsen here from Super Simple Guitar, and today I am going to be teaching you how to play this beautiful song that we all love, Wonderful Tonight. I'm going to show you just the chord progression, a simple way of just playing through the chords. And then I'm also going to show you a really nice way of arpeggiating through the notes, which just sounds so beautiful, you know. And the cool thing with that is that you can also, there's some space for freestyling in there too, you know. So we're going to be learning that, and of course I'm going to be showing you how to play that as well. Okay, so a lot of cool stuff in this lesson. For my members, I'm going to have some extra goodies in there for you. I'm not sure exactly what it's going to be. It's going to be a little surprise, so get in there, check that out. If you're not yet a member, my new members get a free book shipped straight to their doorstep when they join the All Access membership. So if you're interested in checking out my membership, where all of my courses are, and there's a great beginner guitar community behind it as well, then check that out. If you don't want to become a member, then you can also just download the free PDF version of this book, and it'll teach you all about the chords that you need to know, and also how to master the entire fretboard. Okay, so check that out. All right, without further ado, let's get into the close-up now, and let me teach you how to play this tune. Look, I can play it without my hands. Whoa! All right, see you there. All right, so welcome to the close-up. So first of all, I'm going to show you the most simple possible way of getting through the chord progression. And then we're going to talk about more interesting ways of playing it, and also those arpeggiating notes, okay? So the basic chord progression goes G to a D to a C and then to a D. And then it repeats G to the D to the C. Okay, and now the third time around, we're just going to a C to a D. Then there's this little walk down into E minor, C to the D, and then that leads us back into that first part. Okay, so really slowly now, let me show you what I'm doing. So on this first part, it's just down, 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 up, down, 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 up, down, 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 up, down, down, down. Then that repeats. Okay, so that's going to be like part A. Now for part B, we're going into a C to a D. And now let me show you how that walk down works exactly. So I'm going to go grab a G here. I'm going to hit the bass, which is the 6th string. And then I'm just going to do a nice little strum downwards. And then I'm going to do a walk down. You see that note here is just walking down a half step. So that's bass, strum, that little walk down, and then into an E minor. And then it goes into a C, down, down, up, D. And then that leads us back into the part A, right? So, one more time, let me put that whole thing together for you now that you know how that walk down works, so you can see it nice and slowly. And then I'm going to show you some cool arpeggiating things that you could do, okay? So, down, 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 up, down, 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 up, C, down, down, up, D, down, down, up, G, down, down, up, D, down, down, up, C, down, down, up, D. Now we're going into the C, D, up to the G, and now on the E minor, I'm changing up the strumming pattern just a little bit. So it's down, down, up, down, up. Just to add in a little bit of flavor, right? We're trying to kind of fill that space and do something a little bit different than we've been doing the whole time, just to make everything sound a little bit more interesting. So, and feel free to do whatever you want there, right? Then we go back into a C to the D, and now it just goes back into that part A. Okay? And during that part A, where it goes G, D, C, D, that's where the solo is happening, right? So that's where that's happening as well. So you could also do that as kind of like the intro. Before the vocals come in, during that solo, that's the chord progression that's happening as well, okay? Okay, so there's just one more part of the song, and that's the bridge. And then for the bridge, he goes, I feel C to the D. Then that walk down happens again to the E minor. And the C wonder of it all, D. And now it goes into C a second time to D. How much I... Now back into the part A, right? That's how it would continue now. Okay, so now let's take a look at a different way of playing this and how you could arpeggiate it, okay? So until now we've been playing G like this just because I wanted to keep things kind of at a beginner level. But even if you're a beginner, there's a good chance that you'll be able to do this as well, okay? So this just looks like a C, but with these two fingers, one string set further down and push to the 3rd fret, okay? And this is one that we're going to be arpeggiating. And all that means is that we're going to be playing single notes. So 4, 3, 1. Sorry, 4, 3, 2, 4, 1, 2. So... with 4, 3. So 4, 3, 2, 4, 1, 2, 4, 3. Okay, so really slowly. And anything in here is going to sound fine. So even if you were to arpeggiate it a different way, let's say, I kind of missed now, but just if you went down and up, it would sound fine too. You could go. See how nice that sounds? So play around with different sounds and different combinations and see what sounds good to you. But kind of what my ears gravitated to was that 4, 3, 2, 4, 1, 2, 4, 3. So one more time. 4, 3, 2, 4, 1, 2, 4, 3. Okay, so. Same exact pattern, except now we're going to be changing the shape. So this is like what you'd see in a D chord, the notes, except now I'm using my middle finger for the 3rd fret 2nd string and my ring finger up here. And what that's doing is creating this nice motion, this walking bass motion. Right, that sounds nice for the ears to hear this walking bass going down. Clapton did a great job with that, okay? So next chord, we're letting the E string ring, okay, and we're going to arpeggiate it the same way. See how nice that is? 4, 3, 2, 4, 1, 2, 4, 3. Okay, so. Okay, going into the C. Now I'm going 5, 4. 5, 4, 3, 5, 1, 2, 4, 3. And that's optional. Again, play around with it, do your own thing, find something that sounds good for you. But for me, that 5, 4, 3, 5, 1, 2, 4, 3 sounds really nice. Okay, so. The tricky thing with this chord is to not mute out the E string, okay? So even if you do, it's fine, but that's kind of the tricky thing, to have this string ring. So then we go into a D. Same pattern. So 4, 3, 2, 4, 1, 2, 4, 3. Okay. Again, if I changed it maybe slightly, it's because I'm always doing that. I'm always changing things a little bit, and that's what I encourage you to do as well. Okay? And then it just continues into that C, so that's kind of the A part, right? Instead of playing it like this, we're now playing the G here, we're playing the D here, we're playing the C as we normally would, and we're playing the D again, right? Okay. If you play it normally, the way I showed you at the beginning, you could, when you play the D, leave the open E string if you want to, or you could play that D normally as you learn it as a beginner. Okay, that's optional as well. Right, we want to experiment with music. We want to try out different sounds so that our ears get used to hearing things, and also learn to find things that our ears like to hear, right? Okay, so that's about that. If you want to continue arpeggiating the rest of the song, that's also something that I kind of freestyle with. Okay, so now I played C the same way as I showed you originally. D the same. And now on this walk down thing, I don't even know what I did. You could go, so grab a G chord. 6, 4, 3, 2. Do that little walk down, same exact strings. 6, 4, 3, 2, E minor, back to C, to D, to G. Alright, so now let me teach you that cool little solo line. Are you ready? Let's zoom in. Whoop, there we go. Okay, so check it out. As I said, the chord progression is that A section that I already taught you, the G, D, C, D, right? So I have that looped, but I'm not gonna play with the looper just yet. So we're gonna start off like this. We're on the 2nd string, 10th fret. Okay, let me just fix this a little bit so you can see both hands. Okay, so I'm going to now play the 2nd string, 10th fret, and I'm gonna bend it up. Okay. I don't even know what note we're bending to. It's just this, it's kind of in between somewhere. Just use your ear to find what sounds good. But it's kind of like this light little bend. You're bending up, you're bending down. So without releasing pressure, right? Up, down, going back to the 8th fret. So, and then back to the 10th fret. So 10th fret, 2nd string, up, down, 8th fret, 10th fret again. Okay, so little vibrato at the end. If you don't know about bending and how to make bending easy, I have an entire solo guitar course where I teach all of that in detail. Okay, so if bending is still tricky for you, or you don't understand what pitch you're bending up to, I have a whole course that talks about all of that stuff. Okay, so if you want to go deeper with that, check out the All Access membership. Everything's in there. All right, so one more time here. 2nd string, 10th fret. Hitting it, bending up, bending down, or releasing, I should say. Going over here to the 8th fret, back to the 10th fret. Second time around, same thing. Just now we're ending it on the 3rd string, 9th fret. Okay, so that's nice little vibrato. 3rd time around. So it was again a bend up, releasing without the note stopping to ring, right? We wanted to keep ringing. Back here, so now it's the same as the first time around, except now to end it, we're going to go back to the 10th fret, 12th fret, except we're going to slide in the 12th fret. So See that? So the third time around, see that? So I went up, down, 8, 10. Then I hit 10 again, and I slid into 12. Okay, so that's... See that? Then I just go into 13. And then, to end it, I go to 15, and I slide into 17. And then end it on 15. Okay, so really slowly. Hitting it again, sliding into 12, going into 13, then going straight to 15, sliding into 17, ending on 15. So the whole thing, nice and slow. I'm going to use my pinky because my finger hurts a little bit. See how nice that is? Okay. So a lot of this stuff is also kind of, you don't have to do the slide if you don't want to, right? You could go. So you can kind of experiment with different ways of playing this. If you watch Clapton play it live, he won't always play it exactly the same. Okay, so now you know where the notes are, you know, feel free to do your own thing with it. All right, I hope you liked this lesson. Let me know what you thought. Give me a thumbs up if you did like it. And that's about that. All right, Henry Olsen here, over and out. See you later. Bye.